And here's the third thing. Of course, there should be insurrection. If you think that the election has been stolen, of course, that's what America's about. America. We're about fighting for our freedoms and our democracy and all that stuff. So if literally Castro has whatever the fuck he's done, Dominion, Biden, Harris, whatever, if that's happened, of course we need to raid the Capitol. I mean, they're not American for not doing more. That's what's so crazy to me about what's happening, about what people. I mean, it's like, you know what? This is going to be a second video actually. Sorry. So I started this as though it was going to be my vlog, but we're just going to make the second video and we're just going to put it up immediately. Hello everyone, my name is Eris. I live in the woods in Paris. I've got a channel. Subscribe please. So right now, what I want to talk about is the insurrection and how unfair the media is about all of this stuff about fighting and violence and all this stuff. It's the double standard is insane. Um, I'm going to say it. Double standard is insane relative to how they would cover the BLM protest. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that, because obviously there is a difference between the attacks on the Capitol and the BLM protests. The veracity of the cause. Okay? But if your savior, Donald Trump, is telling you that these things are true, if your friends on Parler, if in 4chan, it is completely understandable why you would believe that these things are true. And so then the behavior is the natural next step. So we shouldn't be faulting anyone for the violence at the Capitol. The problem is the failure in reasoning. The violence is an American value. Stepping up for your sovereignty, for what you believe in, which I think is bullshit, but all that stuff, that's American values. And you wouldn't give that up. You wouldn't change that about American culture. That when we don't like something, we fight and we get it to change. The civil rights movement, the BLM protests, the BLM aftermath, the riots. That's all part of how we make change. So yeah, that's absolutely it. So I mean, that's if you realize that humans are not reasonable, right? And that the biggest cultural change that we need to make, in fact, it'll probably be the biggest cultural change besides agriculture and language and the internet. No, besides language only. Becoming reasonable. No, number one, the biggest cultural development that humans can do, cultural evolution, is to become reasonable. Then people from the future will approach us, extraterrestrials will approach us, whoever's out there will approach us because you can't deal with us the way that we are. We're too fucking stupid. We've got these political parties that are pretty information irrelevant. Right now in 2021, the left is going to be a little bit more information dependent than the right because they've really diluted themselves. But you've got violence happening and we don't even understand what we think about it. We think violence is okay when it's for our cause, but not okay when it's for another cause, even though we all agree that an election should not be stolen. I could have said that so much more eloquently. I think I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself because I just realized I'm not going to put this as a vlog, and actually I want people to watch this. But you know what? It's too long anyway. The point is that I fucked this up. And number two, of course there had to be insurrection. If those things are true. The problem is not how they violently reacted to the facts that they thought that they had. The problem is the fact that they thought that they had those facts. And they didn't. And Trump told them they did. And again, with the impeachment trial, we shouldn't have focused on whether Trump encouraged them to be violent. Because his attorney made really good points, talked about all the violent talk and rhetoric on the left. So the issue was never that he incited them to fight. The issue is that he lied to them about what they were fighting about the reason to fight. He made it up. He didn't say, go kill that guy. He said, hey, that guy's your daughter. So So information is important. Being reasonable is important. It's not about violence. Violence we cherish. And yeah, of course, Trump should have been impeached. I mean, should have been convicted. But not because he used the word fight. You fucking idiots. It's because he was lying to millions and millions of people.
But no, I don't check my messages. I don't get an alert about it. I don't find out about it. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe for more.